Did you know that you can use your mortgage as a tool to build wealth for yourself and create financial freedom? Well, guess what? I'm about to show you. Here we are. We've got a wealth building exercise. Let's go ahead and access some of the equity in a property you already own. You may think, oh, I don't have 20% down or even 10% down to pick up another investment property in a market where sellers are willing to negotiate with me. Well, guess what? You can use a home equity line of credit or access the equity in your property through a cash-out refi to leverage yourself into additional properties. What are those properties gonna do for you? Well, A, they're gonna appreciate. So every year those properties appreciate and build passive wealth for you. Secondarily, what are they gonna do? Add an additional tax benefit by residing on the Schedule E of your tax return. Your accountant can utilize that to help offset some of the income that you may have. Now, next thing, what about your credit? We can use our mortgage as a tool to fix the credit, get the creditors off of our back, and create financial freedom from 16 to 21% interest rates we're paying on those credit cards. In this economic downturn, a lot of times people find themselves in a position of having a really low mortgage rate at 2 or even 3%, thinking, oh, I can't refinance right now. Well, let me tell you a little story. I had a client approach me once that was literally recently, a couple weeks ago, that said, hey, I've got all this credit card debt, but I'm sitting in a 3% interest rate. Well, we did an analysis of their finances, and a lot of the credit cards they were carrying had 12, 15, or even 21% interest rates on them, and the minimum payments on that, as you can imagine, pretty big. So, but then I've got this 3% mortgage. We did an analysis, and I was able to show them how they could reduce, even though their interest rate went up to like 6.5%, their credit card debt from 21% or 15% down to the 6.5% on the mortgage. When you consolidate that debt with your mortgage, it becomes secured by the property as opposed to unsecured debt. So then you can write that interest off also against your income on your tax returns. So it also creates additional deductions for you, and it's fully amortized for an easier payoff. So you're able to not only pay less interest, but then pay that debt off faster. Now, one other thing is it's gonna fix your credit, like I mentioned. So when I pay all those cards off for these clients, I was able to show them how their score would go from 680 to over 800 just like that. Now, what does that do for them? Whenever they apply for a car or another home or anything else, they're going to see that they're going to get better interest rates on those things as well in the future, because we were able to reestablish their credit, reorganize their finances, and even though their mortgage rate went up from 3% to 6.5%, we saved them $2,000 a month on their minimum payment. So a simple conversation with your mortgage person can help show you how to use that mortgage as a tool despite where we are in this current market. Now, last but not least, let's talk about buying before you're selling. As a buyer in this market, you have so much power, so much leverage, but as a seller, you may not, right? For that same reason. So what if I own a property and I need to access the equity in that property to buy the next one that I want to live in as my primary residence? We can do a before you sell program called a bridge loan, and that loan will help leverage you into that new property using the access that we had to equity through the buy before you sell program. Now, we pick up the new property when prices are depressed, and then you hold on to your exit residence until the optimal time to be a seller occurs, which is when the rates drop. So you pick up your property now at a cheaper price that you're gonna buy, lock that in, and then later on that exit residence that you need to get rid of, you wait for the opportune time for the market to turn, the rates fell, now I have more buyers in the market that are gonna compete for my property, I get top dollar for that as well. All right guys, that's it for now, but if you found this information as informative as I did when I first learned it, feel free to go ahead and leave a comment below, click the link in my bio, let me know what you thought, and reach out with any questions, whether you want to refinance, pick up another property, I am here for you. So I very much look forward to hearing from you, and until next time, bye-bye for now.